So I'm here with Mo Uddin from Cadent Gas. Mo, thanks for joining me this morning. Um, I'm going to leap straight into it, if that's okay.
Of course.
Um, Obviously, Cadent runs the gas network for millions of homes across the UK. In a world that's racing to net zero, what does that actually mean for the future of your network you're responsible for?
That's a really good question, a very pertinent question. So, as you know, we serve around 11 million homes, but we also supply gas to 40,000 industrial customers and 200,000 businesses. The way that we see it, gas is valuable for heating homes today
Yeah.
and for powering Britain's industries. And there will be a requirement for gas in the future, but it'll be a cleaner gas that we use in our households and in our businesses and industries.
Right.
So how do we think about the future?
Yeah.
We think about the future in terms of Cadent continuing to deliver efficiently and providing an affordable service and transporting gas for consumers in a net zero future.
Yep.
That means you get gas delivered to you, maybe cleaner gas,
Yep.
but it'll be done at an affordable price point.
Yep.
Secondly, we see sort of the gas network becoming cleaner and greener over time.
Yep.
So this will be things like biomethane and hydrogen, sort of making the network cleaner.
Yep.
But then also end uses which are sort of reflective of the fact that gas can be a bit more polluting than other
Yeah.
technologies. So things like hybrid heating, which looks at how you take the best of electrons and molecules to provide a cozy solution for your homes and for your businesses. And then finally, we know that some of our industrial and commercial customers have different challenges to other customers, and therefore we need to make sure that they have the energy that they need when they need it, and it's available and secure and safe.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you talked about affordability there, and that's
Yeah.
that's a key point. It's very central to obviously how Cadent are thinking about the transition. Why does it matter so much, and who are you most worried about leaving behind in this transition?
It's a very good question, and it's a very hard question, right? So, energy prices are top of mind for all types of customers for us. For households that we survey relatively regularly, we're seeing this rise as a top priority for many of these consumers. We've also seen quite a lot of industries sort of leave and stop production and reduce production. So I don't know if you've heard of Denby's, but they've
Yes,
recently closed
last
down.
couple of weeks.
Yeah, yeah. We've also seen refinery like Grangemouth close, and that has significant implications on the communities that these consumers are based in. So I think it's quite hard to think about one set of customers. We
Yes.
have to think about them all, and they obviously have different concerns and different needs, but we need to really think about them as they sort of and the sort of the prices that they face
Yeah.
as we go into a net zero future. I think the key thing from our side is one size doesn't fit all, but we really do need to think about how and these consumers are going to transition quite carefully.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Absolutely. No, and it's good that Cadent's thinking about that as it goes through. Obviously, Cadent's been involved in a number of trials. You
Yeah.
talked about biomethane. You talked about hydrogen. What technologies are you most excited about?
So currently, the thing that's sort of quite exciting is we've just started doing a project called Project 10, and it's
Not heard of that one.
it's about how we can use a whole system solution on hybrid heating to reduce costs for consumers.
Yep.
Because hybrid heat pumps are typically 30 to 40% cheaper than normal heat pumps.
Yep. Okay.
And then there are also different types of network costs associated with it, because you don't have to plan for a network which is available on the coldest days,
Yeah.
because you can use a mixture of gas and electricity and use the best of both to deliver heating. So we think that this is 20 to 30 billion cheaper than the alternative to get to net zero.
Okay.
And we are trialing that with Worcester Bosch, Tag Energy, and a couple of other sort of partners to see how they can provide solutions. Currently, the trial is going on in Rugby, Sheffield, and some of the other surrounding areas, but where we want to take the results of that back, because we see quite a lot of success of this in countries like the Netherlands, where they're really pushing this to drive down costs for consumers overall.
Yep.
And as I mentioned before, affordability is something that's really top of mind for us.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's really interesting. I'm going to look that up because I hadn't heard of that one. Thank you for sharing that. So we talked about what you're most excited about, but what keeps you up at night when you think about decarbonising the gas network?
So I think like just we've already talked about it. It's affordability, right?
Right.
It's affordability and customer choice. So when we think about our customers, the solution is often like, very expensive to
Yeah.
decarbonize. And so how do we get to a point where they have a viable pathway to do this
Yep.
at a cost that won't, put them out of business or
Yeah.
won't make it so prohibitively expensive that
Yeah.
we just end up outsourcing or deindustrializing, etc. So that's like the top of mind thing for me
Yep.
as we sort of, go through the energy transition.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
So I'm here with Mo